Yeah.
That it's better for you not to think, because it's not true. The appropriate response to a knowing, even if it is unclear, is, oh, okay, what is it I need to know about this?
Mm-hmm.
And then listen for the answer. Don't keep focused on the knowing that you're having. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let it be the call for inquisitiveness, but inquire of something other than the sensation of the intuition. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay. Just one other thing. About the thought processes that are going on, it feels like, since I started this study, that I hold on to thoughts so tightly because I don't want them to be there, if that makes sense. I'm so aware of what I'm thinking because I want to be still inside, kind of along the lines of what she was saying earlier. So that's kind of a hard part into receiving peace. It's just being attached to those thoughts so much.
It takes practice to let go of them. One very effective way of letting go of them is to give your attention to something other than thoughts, like the sensation of the air as it passes the bridge of your nose or at your nostrils, and just pay attention to the sensation. That is a very effective way of getting past words and thoughts in your mind. Very often for a thinker, a mantra is not the most effective means of meditating, because there is an activity in the mind that is very similar to thinking.
Yeah.
So to pay attention to a sensation that is continuous, like the sensation of breathing, because you breathe continuously, is a very effective means of abandoning the mental arena where thoughts occur. Mm-hmm. So you might try that.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
Don't resist thoughts. Give your attention to an arena where thoughts are not occurring, like sensation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hands. The gentleman right here.
Hi, Raj.
Good afternoon.
Does this mic sound okay? Yeah, it's all right. I identify very much with the two ladies who spoke of being wound up and bound up in their feelings and their anxieties. And what you said about being sensitive to things that aren't necessarily you and letting them feel like you also rang a bell with me. Where I'm going to go is into what has happened to me and Dinah as a result of this. You've spoken before about being paralyzed by fear. And I have allowed that idea to diminish me a lot over the months and the years, because I thought, well, if I'm paralyzed by fear, it's because I'm a weenie. I have no courage. And that was very demeaning to me and deepened my fear. And now I'm at a place of appreciation to the point where I want movement. And I feel movement happening.
Appreciation of what?
Of appreciation. Appreciation of feeling good. Appreciation of the things that are around me, the people in my life, those things that that do happen to me that work well. And I find that this, just because I appreciate these things and want movement, doesn't really seem to bring it about. It seems to require some further participation from me.
Well, you see, fear is like an anchor.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're floating in the river and you have an anchor, it may drag along the bottom some, and there is some movement, but as a general rule, it's a drag. Because you're at a point of being able to value appreciation, you now have some justification for invalidating the fear and not engaging it, not employing it, not feeding into it. And that's what you need to do, is to begin to disengage it, not focus on it as much. Don't fight it. That will only aggravate it, magnify it. When you live with peace and harmony for a substantial amount of time, with no serious challenges, the experience of fear diminishes. And when you live without fear for a long time, and then something fearful, shockingly happens, that implies real potential threat, and fear raises its head, you don't have the perspective to recognize that its rearing its head does not justify great reaction. During war, that goes on for a protracted amount of time, where fearful things happen daily, people arrive at a point where they stop reacting. Sometimes it is said that one becomes numb to it. But the fact is that threat does not have to occasion overwhelming fear. Threat should occasion intelligent, clear response that reduces threat. It should not cause fear that immobilizes and depletes you. As Americans, all of you are soft. You have become soft. I do not mean by that you should be able to deal with a lot of fear. What I mean by that is that without the occasion for fear, you haven't, for a very long time, had the occasion to recognize that threat doesn't have to occasion fear. And as a result, what has happened in the last year has thrown you into reaction which you no longer have the perspective to see which you no longer recognize that you don't have to react to. Just a moment. I'm going to put it this way. When you're toughened up, you don't waste your time reacting to what doesn't require reaction. But when you're soft, you react to everything.
We're running out of cornflakes. Seems like an emergency.
Indeed. I realize that this may not sound reasonable, but the fact is that for the last year, everyone in the United States has been overreacting. And their overreaction has been fed daily and even knowingly through the media, so as to arouse you to justify actions which are unjustifiable, but which seem totally justifiable when you are afraid. And the fear seems to be demonstrably valid. Don't let the conscious manipulation of your fear by others lead you around by the nose. Don't abandon your peace so easily. That's what I meant. When you are soft and not hardened, you abandon your peace unnecessarily. When you're hardened, you don't abandon your peace necessarily. When you're hardened, you choose for your peace even more definitely, so that you remain a constructive part of the correction of the problem that poses a threat. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is important. There need to be clearer heads now. Fear is not justifiable under any circumstances. It is understandable when there is threat, but it is still not justifiable. And it's your choice to abandon it. What I mean by that is it's always your choice to do something that you find to be more important than choosing for your peace. So if you don't have your peace, it is because you've found something else more important. You say, well, I've had a lot of help. Well, that's not very intelligent. You may get a lot of help, but you know what? You're the one who's going to suffer from abandoning your peace. And it's not going to help anybody else. And if you refuse to abandon your peace, you'll still have your peace, and it will help everyone else.
We have what would appear to be a big need at home. And because one doesn't want to approach the filling of this need from a place of less peace, and one wants to approach their involvement from a place of greater peace, it would seem that taking the time to be in peace detracts from that need, detracts from the capacity to fulfill need. And because one has carried anxiety and reaction around like a little buddy for his whole life, it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to get rid of it
fast enough.
Right. It's like if you take the time to be rid of it, that's all well and good, sitting around in your peace and not getting much done.
But the meeting of the need is long overdue.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Paul has the same problem. He has been able to enjoy having the time to become peaceful. But I'll tell everyone, times are changing. And the call for meeting needs is occurring faster than the amount of time you would like to be able to take to find your peace. And therefore, the envelope is being pushed, the boundaries of your tents are being enlarged, and you are going to have to risk the chance and dare to respond, trusting that whatever amount of peace that is necessary to contribute to the solving of the need will be there whether you've had time to let it in or not. It's a simple fact that peace is the ever-present, ongoing nature of your being. It's not something to obtain. It is something you let yourself into. But because it's not something you obtain, it's not something that takes time to get. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have experienced it before where the situation seems to be tense and not peaceful, and that you're not serving yourself well by remaining in this posture, and then all of a sudden the peace is there.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I don't have to go sit down and breathe deeply for 15 minutes to do that.
Yes. But it takes risking the chance that becoming involved before the peace has presented itself fully, you have to risk the chance that responding quickly, you will have to risk the chance that the peace will be there if you respond quickly without the usual amount of process to it and engage the need. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and
And that is frightening because you don't want to make a mistake, but that's exactly the fear that you can't afford to honor.
having an object of your affection helps.
Yes, it does. And that's why engaging in meeting the need here is important and easier for you. Because you have an object of your affection means that the risk is lower, that if you engage quickly, I'm sorry. Because you have an object of your affection, the risk of not having your peace quickly is less, because love promotes and nurtures peace.
Because of well, I'll just be frank. Because I've been a horse's ass most of my life, a lot of things have not got done that needed to be done. And some of them are appearing now in ways that could seem not very nice at all. And I'm just curious if you see...
Well, first of all, you're going to plead guilty.
If I have to. What I mean is it could go easier on me if I did that. I see the double entendre in what you asked. In other words, I'm really not guilty. I haven't done anything terrible, if that's what you mean.
Like I said earlier, each of you does the best that you can do. If you could have done better, you would have done better. And if you say, well, I knew better, but I didn't do it, you didn't know better. You did what you knew best. You've got to let yourself off the hook so that you can recognize that you're not guilty, because guilt will immobilize you, and guilt will deplete you, and guilt will keep you from being able to be intelligent now. And so right now, you've got to make a choice so that the best you can do now isn't to choose for feeling guilty and be immobilized. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. It's hitting home quite forcefully.
Because there's more good available to you at the moment than what that will bring. Just a moment. So what if you goofed? So what? Are you going to take the past? Are you going to take your memory and let it govern now? Or are you going to be fresh now? Is this making sense?
Oh yeah. Yes, what you're saying is not new to me. You and I have discussed it before. I just needed some encouragement. I needed to hear it out of Paul's mouth too, I think.
From the horse's mouth to the horse's ass.
So anyway, you came to me in my sleep last night, and I just wanted to say thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, you were actually pretty funny. I have more, but let's let somebody else have the mic if that's what you want.
We're not finished.
Well, okay, I'm not. I asked you one time about where I was going in life, and you really didn't want to answer me directly, but you said to me, if you can, go back to when you were a youngster, I think is the word you used, and see if you can get some hints there. Well, I remember sitting in school. I went to Catholic school and listening to them talk about hearing the call and how it was my responsibility to heed the call, and that the way I heed the call is by telling adults about it.
Did you ever get the call?
Oh yeah, all the time. But part of the call was not to go tell the adults about it. And I felt like, yeah, but that's, part of me felt like I really needed to respond to that, and that my calling was there, and that my calling was about you and what you wanted me to do and the love that I was feeling, and that I needed to stay with that. Well, of course, you know I didn't do that. And now I'm looking back at that, and I'm thinking, okay, whither thou goest, I will follow. And I just want to know if you have anything to say about that. Because I've worked in industry, I've worked in business, I've worked on my own, I've done all sorts of work. And I need to approach the thing new.
Do I have anything to say?
Yes, do you?
Welcome aboard. That a, quote, long time, unquote, has passed in which you refused. But it's a meaningless and insignificant amount of time.
To you. It hurt me.
That's good enough for me. To me, it is an insignificant amount of time. It is an amount of time that has no significance. That has not enough significance to justify an evaluation.